police tell me the only way to upgrade charges in this case is if James passes away.
It's your child. You raised.
A look at the life of James Alston before September 30th of 2023, a paraplegic who strived for independence.
He get disappointed when he didn't get hired, but he kept on going out there and trying to, strive for a better life.
Now, after September 30th,
I am a mother. I am upset about it.
Mother Sandra Hooker takes us into her son's room at his rehabilitation facility.
This is your chance to tell Lisa
to show us how he lives life today. Do you remember the crash in September? No?
No. I'm looking for justice.
James is mostly nonverbal and lost mobility to his upper body.
I just don't see a dollar bill. I want to see my son vibrant again.
We pulled the Grove City Police body-worn camera video.
Hey, keep breathing, buddy. We got help coming, okay?
Of the crash in a Grove City crosswalk.
It was me. I didn't see him.
Okay, was this across the street?
Yes, sir.
How fast were you going?
James was testing out a new manual wheelchair at Han Road in Columbus Street.
Anything?
I can't. Yeah, he's got a seatbelt. Here, I got it. Got it.
James got the light to enter the crosswalk, while one driver waited for him to cross.
Okay.
He was maybe a third of the way.
Okay.
And I was waiting. Obviously, I didn't have enough room to turn.
Yeah.
She just went.
So you saw him?
Yeah.
The at-fault driver did not.
I didn't see him because he was shorter or lower down to the ground, and I didn't see him.
The light was red. She turned, struck him.
Even though James was rushed to Grant Medical Center, put on a ventilator, and given a feeding tube.
The officers ultimately charged the at-fault party with failure to obey traffic control device.
The at-fault driver received the maximum sentence allowed by state law.
I will impose a fine here of $150.
A $150 fine.
To see him like that and to see him in the way he was, I was so terrified. I couldn't stop crying. I had a chaplain trying to console me. It was hard to see.
Why was a minor misdemeanor appropriate?
So we follow the laws that are available for us to enforce, and that was the correct charge based on the evidence at hand.
According to law, James would have to die from his injuries for charges to upgrade.
It doesn't feel very punitive, does it? Because that's the same ticket you would get basically for rolling through a stop sign.
Randy Holt is a Grove City councilman who knows pedestrian crashes are spiking in his community. Should a pedestrian feel somewhat secure when they cross a crosswalk?
Well, you're supposed to be.
He tells me 24% of the crashes investigated by Grove City Police last year dealt with failure to yield.
I don't feel protected in a crosswalk.
Nationwide, more than 7,500 pedestrians died in crashes in 2022, according to the Governor's Highway Safety Association. That's a 41-year high. In Columbus, we intervened when an Ohio State University student was hit in a crosswalk while walking to campus in 2022. We sent this video to Lyft, who fired their driver. CPD is still looking for the man who they say struck and killed 5-year-old Catherine Michelle Rodriguez in a crosswalk trick-or-treating Halloween night that same year.
You have to really be defensive as a pedestrian.
How defensive can you be when you're in a wheelchair?
Right, yeah. He's at a disadvantage right there in a wheelchair.
Now Councilman Holt is consulting the city attorney to see what they can do to increase penalties in cases like James within the Grove City boundaries.
They're supposed to stop or slow down, and I don't have that feeling anymore.
Sandra tells me it's a safe step in the right direction.
I've been coping. And I've been trying to overlook it, but it's hard.
But she wants changes statewide.
He did what he's supposed to do, but the driver wasn't paying attention, and she hit my son.
We introduced you to James Alston back in February. He was in a nursing home after being hit by a car in a Grove City crosswalk last year. The driver who hit him only faced a $150 fine. Now city leaders are telling me they're going above and beyond state penalties when it comes to distracted driving, but the driver who hit James was never cited for that.
Seeing you on the news, helping someone else.
When Grove City mom Sandra Hooker felt no one was listening,
I need to get in touch with this lady.
she made a desperate call to ABC 6 On Your Side problem solvers.
Back up.
Severe head trauma.
I pulled the video and records of her son's crash back in September of 2023.
Hey, keep breathing, buddy. We got help coming, okay?
James Alston is a paraplegic and was testing out a new wheelchair at Columbus Street and Hahn Road in Grove City. Police say a driver who tried to beat the red light at the intersection crashed into James in the crosswalk.
The light was red. She turned, struck him.
James had the right of way. James lost more mobility in his upper body and became nearly nonverbal after the crash. The at-fault driver only had to pay a $150 fine.
$150 for the injury that she caused.
And this story did catch the attention of Grove City.
The takeaway for me was, look, we have some things to do to make sure our citizens are safe. Obviously, this was a tragedy for all of us.
Kevin Tieford is the Grove City Public Safety Director. You personally met with Sandra Hooker.
I have.
He's pulled the data of pedestrian crashes within the Grove City area. The number, nearly 50 since 2019.
Right, so we want to take a multifaceted approach and data-driven approach to attacking these violations that we know lead to injury.
And to do that, Tieford will present a new ordinance to City Council targeting distracted driving within a month. It will turn the violation into a misdemeanor of the second degree if a crash caused by a distracted driver leads to someone's injury. Penalties for an M2 are up to 90 days in jail and a $750 fine. Fines and penalties under current law, $150.
I don't know of any other city that's doing this.
But the driver who hit Sandra Hooker's son was not cited for distracted driving. She was found guilty of failure to yield a traffic device. This new proposed ordinance is not dealing with yielding to a traffic device, correct?
Not specifically how it's written.
I can't. Yeah, he's got a seatbelt. Here, I got it.
Do you know how many citations have been issued for failure to yield a traffic device in the city, and how many have resulted in injury cases?
Yeah, I don't have that data readily at hand with me right now.
Okay, is that something you'll also look into?
Yes.
Tieford's data shows the overall failure to yield is the leading cause of pedestrian crashes in the Grove City area for the last 5 years. However, Grove City police have already cited 38 drivers over the last few months for driving while distracted.
We believe that if we can cut down on distracted driving, we can cut down on crashes overall in our cities.
Can you talk to me?
In September of last year, Grove City mother Sandra Hooker experienced the moment her life would never be the same.
Hey, keep breathing, buddy. We got help coming, okay?
Her son James, who was paralyzed from the waist down, was severely hit in his wheelchair when he entered the crosswalk at Hahn and Columbus Roads.
I can't. Yeah, he's got a seatbelt. Here, I got it.
After multiple surgeries, he's never come back home.
He cannot move his body. He can't move this arm right here.
And Sandra called us to seek justice when the guilty driver received the maximum sentence for the minor misdemeanor, a $150 fine.
Then it's the only way you can get away with murder. If you hit somebody with a car.
We found there was no law that addressed crosswalk safety specifically, not in Grove City, not in the state of Ohio.
Sir? Hey, sir. Can you talk to me? Okay.
We featured the lack of legislation.
It is a minor misdemeanor, and unfortunately my office prosecuted the individual, who injured Ms. Hooker's son, and we did the maximum that we could do.
Sandra contacted her local leaders.
But I'm not finished. I am doing this to honor my son.
Months later, Grove City Council wrote up a new ordinance that gives people in a crosswalk the most protection in the state. Any at-fault driver who hits and hurts someone in a crosswalk could now face several months in jail and a $750 fine. Any at-fault driver who hits and kills someone in a crosswalk could now face 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine.
We do need to continue to take this further. We need more awareness to our community members to slow down and watch out for others.
And Sandra said her mission came out of our investigation, knowing she needed to be the change to prevent more cases like her son's, James.
I just want to thank you, Lisa, for following us in this and for educating me.
Tonight's ordinance also includes increased penalties for distracted drivers who also hit someone in the street. And this law does not use the word pedestrian, but people. That way, folks using wheelchairs or even motorized scooters can be included. It officially takes effect next month. On your side, I'm problem solver Lisa Rontola.